Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we shall be discussing the maximum and the minimum values of cos theta and sec theta. So let's start. Okay, now in order to discuss the maximum and the minimum values, the concept that I am going to use is of fractions and numbers. Though there are other concepts also of derivatives, limits, continuity and graphs also which can be used, but here we will be using the concept of fractions and numbers. Okay, having said this, this is the triangle that I am taking. Now this is the right angled triangle where P is my perpendicular, P is my base and H is my hypotenuse. Now we know that cos C is cos theta, which is based upon hypotenuse. So you will see that broadly I have made three cases. Now we know that hypotenuse is largest among the three. So hypotenuse is greater than B greater than P. Hypotenuse is greater than P greater than B, because now here we are talking about both of these as scalene triangle. And the last case that I made here is I made it of an isosceles triangle. So we know that a right angled triangle can be either a scalene triangle or an isosceles triangle. There cannot be a third category here. So if I combine these two cases, it is just like saying hypotenuse is not equal to the perpendicular is not equal to the base. If I talk about this case, what are we saying? We are saying hypotenuse is not equal to the perpendicular, but the perpendicular can be equal to the base, which is why we said that this is an isosceles triangle. Now let us see. So now B by H we can say is just like a fraction with B as the numerator and H as the denominator. So if I were to make cases here, this can be broadly divided into two parts. One is we are saying that B by H. So let's say the first case is let's say B is lesser than H. The second case here is, let's say B is equal to H. Third case we are forming here is, let's say B is greater than H. So this case is not possible because B cannot be greater than H in all the three cases you have seen. So we will consider only these two cases. The cases are either H is greater than B or H is equal to B. Now we had seen that H cannot be equal to B also, but we will explore these two cases with the help of some examples that I am going to take. So what are the examples that I am going to take? Let's say I am taking values of B comma H as 0 comma plus 1, 0 comma minus 1, right? The next here I am taking it as, so here one was neutral, the other I had taken it as plus or minus. I can take the reciprocal of this also. So I could have taken plus 1 0, minus 1 0, right? Next I can take it as, let's say minus 1 plus 1, plus 1 minus 1. Okay, let's say I want to take this as plus 0.1 and this as plus 0.2. Okay, let's say the reciprocal of this, let's say plus 0.2 for this, plus 0.1 for this. Next minus 0.1, minus 0.2, and let's say the reciprocal. So let's say minus 0.2 and minus 0.1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is a logic behind taking all these values. I hope when you go through this video in detail, you will understand what is the logic. Broadly, the logic is giving both of the taking both of the values as positive, or both of them as negative, or one of them as positive, the other one as negative, or one of them as neutral and the other one as positive or negative, which is why these 10 set of values have been taken. Simultaneously, I'll talk about, so this is what? This is cos theta. Simultaneously, I will talk about sec theta, which is the reciprocal of cos theta as well. And without wasting further time, what I'll do here is, I'm just bringing this down. So here, we are talking about cos theta, and here we will talk about sec theta. And then eventually whatever the inference or the conclusion is, we will just write it down. Okay, taking these as examples. So we will take all of these as examples. So what are the values that we are going to find out here? We are going to find out the trigonometric ratio b by h for all these values. And here in this case, we are going to find out the values of h by b. Okay, how much is b by h here? 0. In this case, 0. In this case, b by h is plus 1 by 0. Here minus 1 by 0. Here minus 1. Here also minus 1. Okay. Here also we are getting it as plus 1 by 2. Here we are getting it as plus 2. Here we are getting it as plus 1 by 2. Here we are getting it as plus 2. Now since this is the reciprocal for this, it becomes easier for you to take these values, just the reciprocal of this. So you will say 1 by 0 minus 1 by 0, right? Here it becomes 0, here 0, here minus 1, plus 2, plus 1 by 2, here plus 2 again, here plus 1 by 2. Now remember these two conditions. So for cos, for sec, let's find it out. So can we say h is equal to b as a limiting value? Yes. Now we know that h is greater than b, because the hypotenuse is the greatest side among the three. So for both the cases, you will see that h is either greater than b or it is equal to b. Now when I say base is equal to the hypotenuse, what am I trying to say basically is just hold c, just consider c as the pivot, as the hinge, and from here just take it as a pendulum on the hypotenuse. So what are we trying to say? We are trying to say that it superimposes, or we can take it the other way around, take the hypotenuse and make it come down to the base. Now when you're taking the hypotenuse and making it come down to the base, holding it from C, it is just trying to say that you are trying to equalize their lengths, which is why we have taken this case, though it cannot happen in reality. So the moment we say it cannot happen in reality, we will say the limiting value is 1. The limiting value. Now let us see the feasibility of all these values, and then in the next few minutes we will find out the values, the range. Okay, so can I have b by h equal to a 0? Yes. Equal to a 0? Yes. 1 by 0 not defined. Why is it not defined? Because the base cannot be greater. It's not because of 1 by 0 is an indeterminable form. It is not because of this. It is because of the fact that the base cannot be greater than the hypotenuse. Just consider base as 1 and hypotenuse as 0. Okay. Now, then you would say that minus 1 by 0, why are we not considering this? Because minus 1 is greater than 0. Because now in this case, you will say it is an indeterminable form. Now here, minus 1, yes. Minus 1, yes. Plus 1 by 2. Here, now when we are saying this is plus 2, you need to understand it as this is plus 2 divided by plus 1. So where the base cannot be greater than the hypotenuse. Here, yes. And the same reasoning here. When you are giving the final answer as plus 2, what are we saying? Plus 2 can be written as plus 2 upon plus 1. So it contradicts. So from here, when you compile all these values, you will say that b by h, the maximum value is plus 1 or equal to plus 1, and the minimum value is 1, or the limiting value is 1. That means b by h will take all values as proper fraction values only, other than minus 1 and plus 1, or in addition to minus 1 and plus 1. Now when I say proper fraction, you are getting a positive proper fraction also. You may get a negative proper fraction also. Now here you are not getting a negative proper fraction. It's just because of the fact that maybe I can change this and I take this as plus 2. So in that case, just to give you some hint of, so in that case this becomes minus 2. so that you are able to understand that you will get a positive proper fraction also as well as a negative proper fraction also. Now let us check the probability of these values. 1 by 0, can we take this? We'll just come back to this in few minutes. Can we take this value? So when you are saying 0, you are saying 0 upon 1, wherein the hypotenuse is lesser than the base. You can't take this value. Now same here. Can you take minus 1? Yes. Can you take minus 1? Yes. Now when you're saying can you take minus 1 here, you just need to understand that when you're taking this case, you will not take this case. Maybe what you can understand from here is, so here also you could have changed, base. Can we take this case? You can, because here the hypotenuse is greater than minus 1. But when I talk about this case, ideally if you would see you can't take this case. Why can't you take this case? Because here the hypotenuse is lesser. So here, this is just a way to understand, though what I am trying to focus on is, can I get an answer like minus 1? Can the ratio of h by b equal to minus 1 or not? The answer is yes. Okay, talking about case specific, can you take this case? No, you can't. Okay, is hypotenuse greater than this here? Can I take the ratio this? Yes. Now, here when I am taking this case, why can't I take this case? Because here again the hypotenuse, and here also when we are taking this as b comma h only. So here the hypotenuse, so we will not take this case. Can we take this case? Plus 0.2 is greater than minus 0.1? Yes. Can we take the last case? Is minus 0.1 greater than minus 0.2? Yes. Is minus 0.1 greater than minus 0.2? The answer is yes. But here when I take the ratio, so hypotenuse minus 0.1, is it greater than minus 0.2? The answer is yes, but I can't take it here. Now we come down to 1 by 0 and minus 1 by 0. So the point to understand now finally is, did we anywhere get the answer as plus 1? We did not get the answer as plus 1 in either this case or this case. It's just because of the fact that we did not take the values of b comma h as plus 1 and plus 1 or minus 1 and minus 1. We did not take these values. Or you can say we did not take the values here because I have already explained it to you that it can take 1. Okay, so the minimum value it can take is minus 1 and the maximum value comes from here is minus infinity. Or you can say for negative, for the negative part of it, the maximum value it can take is minus 1 and the minimum value which it can take here is plus 1 for positive values. Now once you go through this video once again, it becomes easier for you to understand this and implement it. Hope you understood this. If you feel that this video was really informative and knowledgeable, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, click on the bell icon and select all so that you start receiving updates from us regularly. If you want us to do some videos on specific topics or difficult topics, let it be known to us so that we can do it for you. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.